Have you ever caught yourself imagining an argument that never happened? Replaying a conversation, but inventing the worst possible version of it? Or picturing a future event that hasn't even occurred yet, complete with exact words, reactions, and consequences? Psychology says this isn't random. Your brain is doing something specific, and understanding why can change how you respond to it. Here's why your brain invents fake scenarios. Number 1, it's trying to prepare you for danger. Psychologically, this is called threat simulation. Your brain evolved to anticipate worst-case outcomes because, for most of human history, missing a real threat was far more costly than imagining a false one. So even now, in safe, modern situations, your mind runs simulations of conflict, rejection, or failure. Not because they're likely, but because your brain would rather overprepare than be caught off guard. Number 2, uncertainty feels worse than a bad outcome. The brain dislikes not knowing what will happen far more than it dislikes a negative result. So when a situation is unresolved, your mind fills the gap with a scenario, any scenario, just to escape the discomfort of uncertainty. This is why people imagine confrontations before they happen. A fabricated outcome feels more manageable than an unknown one. Number 3, it's rehearsing control. Imagining a scenario lets your brain practice responses in advance. Psychologists call this anticipatory coping. By picturing what you'd say or do, your mind feels like it's regaining control over something that hasn't happened. The problem is, this rehearsal often spirals past preparation and into repetition, replaying the same imagined event over and over without ever resolving it. Number 4, emotional memory gets mistaken for prediction. If you've been hurt, dismissed, or embarrassed before, your brain stores that emotional pattern. So when a new situation resembles it even slightly, your mind doesn't just remember the past, it projects it forward as if it's about to happen again. This is why people who've experienced betrayal often invent scenarios of being betrayed again, even with people who've given them no reason to. Number 5, the brain confuses imagination with reality more than people realize. Neurologically, imagining a scenario activates many of the same regions as actually experiencing it. That's why a fake argument in your head can still raise your heart rate or leave you upset for hours. Your nervous system doesn't always distinguish between something happening and something vividly imagined. Number 6, it's often a sign of high empathy or high intelligence, not weakness. People who simulate scenarios in detail are usually deep thinkers who care about outcomes and relationships. The same mind that overthinks an argument is often the same mind that's emotionally perceptive and detail-oriented. The issue isn't the ability to imagine, it's not knowing when to stop. So what do you actually do with this? You don't fight the simulation, you interrupt it. When you notice your mind building a scenario that hasn't happened, ask yourself one question: is this preparation, or is this just repetition? If you've already thought it through once, your brain doesn't need to run it again. Recognizing that is often enough to break the loop. Your brain isn't broken for doing this. It's trying to protect you using tools built for a different kind of world. But you get to decide whether the simulation is useful, or whether it's just noise. Once you understand why it happens, it stops feeling like losing control, and starts feeling like something you can actually manage.